Master Sleuth's murder mystery case files take you on a thrilling journey through real historical events. We are unique. The victims in our cases are all famous people from history who met their end under mysterious circumstances. Did Genghis Khan die from plague? Maybe a fall from a horse. Some records say he might have been castrated by a Tangut princess and died of infection. How did Alexander the Great really die? Was it caused by a malignant form of malaria, or at the hands of a strychnine poisoner? And then there's Houdini. Was his death really an accident? As you delve into each case, you'll explore evidence, medical reports, and statements from the actual people involved, all meticulously reproduced to offer an authentic experience. This is more than just a game. It's a chance to learn history while immersing yourself in the intriguing world of historical murder mysteries. Ready to be a detective and uncover the truth behind these enigmatic deaths? At Master Sleuths, you'll have fun while playing with history.
The very first step in investigating a possible murder is identifying the victim and learning who they were in life. So, who was Edgar Allan Poe? Edgar Allan Poe was born on January 19, 1809 in Boston, Massachusetts, and died on October 7, 1849 in Baltimore, Maryland. He was an American writer known for his Gothic tales, as well as his poetry. Poe's works often explore themes of death, madness, and the mysterious. He is considered a master of the short story and a pioneer of the detective fiction genre. Poe's most famous works include The Telltale Heart, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Mask of the Red Death, and his narrative poem, The Raven. His writing style is characterized by its dark and atmospheric tone, and he often delved into the psychological aspects of his characters. He is also credited with pioneering the detective fiction genre, with works like The Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Mystery of Marie Roget, and The Purloined Letter. Despite his literary success, Poe faced financial difficulties throughout his entire life. He struggled with personal challenges, including the death of his wife Virginia Clem, and his battle with alcoholism. Poe's death in 1849 remains mysterious. The circumstances leading to his demise are unclear, and various theories have been proposed, including alcohol poisoning, rabies, and other medical conditions. These areas will have to be explored in order to either be determined to be the cause or ruled out. In addition to his fiction, Poe was a respected literary critic and editor. He played a key role in the development of the short story as a distinct literary form and contributed significantly to the American Romantic movement. Poe died at the age of 40 under mysterious circumstances, and the exact cause of his death remains uncertain. Edgar Allan Poe had a complex and often tragic family history. David Poe Jr. was Edgar Poe's father. He was an actor and a heavy drinker. He abandoned the family when Edgar was very young and died in 1811. Elizabeth Eliza Arnold Hopkins Poe was Edgar's mother. She was also an actor and had to raise the 3 children alone after her husband left the family. Eliza Poe died of tuberculosis in 1811, shortly after her husband's death. William Henry Leonard Poe was Edgar's older brother. He also became a poet but struggled with alcoholism and died young in 1831. Rosalie Poe was Edgar's younger sister. She had a difficult life as well, marked by illness and poverty. She was eventually taken in by a wealthy family, the Mackenzies. Rosalie lived with them until her death in 1874. Edgar was eventually taken in by John and Frances Allen, a wealthy tobacco merchant from Richmond, Virginia. While they never formally adopted Edgar, John Allen did provide financial support for some time, and Edgar took their last name as his middle name. Frances encouraged little Edgar to recite poetry from a young age and supported his artistic aspirations until her death brought upon by an unknown illness in 1829 when Poe was 20 years old. John and Frances had no other children. After the death of Frances, John and Edgar's relationship becomes strained. Poe was disowned by John, and Edgar was expelled from West Point Military Academy. They eventually had a major falling out of which they never completely reconciled. Edgar married his first cousin, Virginia when she was 13 and he was 27. She was a source of inspiration for several of Poe's poems and stories. Virginia became stricken with tuberculosis and soon died at the age of 24 in 1847. She and Edgar had no children. Maria Muddy Poe Clem was first Edgar's aunt. She was the sister of his father, David Poe Jr., but for most of his life, Maria became much more of a motherly figure for him. After Muddy took him in, she became his mother-in-law as well, and was a reliable figure for Poe, even after her daughter Virginia died. Edgar paid tribute to her in his poem, To My Mother. Edgar Allan Poe was on his way to bring Maria Clem from New York to Richmond when he died. Maria lived to 80 years old, outliving all her children as well as Poe. Poe attended various schools in Richmond and England where he excelled academically. Poe enrolled at the University of Virginia in 1826. While he excelled academically, he faced extreme financial difficulties. He and John Allen's relationship became even more strained due to John having to provide financially for Edgar while he attending college. His relationship with John Allen deteriorated even further, leading to Poe leaving university after a year. In an attempt to support himself, Poe joined the U.S. Army on May 26, 1827, under the name Edgar A. Perry. He served for 2 years and attained the rank of sergeant major. He received an appointment to West Point and entered the military academy on July 1, 1830. Poe's literary career began in the early 1820s when he started submitting poems and short stories to magazines. In 1827, his first book, Tamerlane and Other Poems, was published anonymously. Poe worked as an editor and critic for various literary magazines, such as the Southern Literary Messenger and the Broadway Journal. His critical writings were often acerbic but influential, and as a result he gained many admirers and a few enemies as well. His contributions to American literature, particularly in the genres of horror, mystery, and the macabre, continues to have had a lasting impact today. Edgar Allan Poe died on October 7, 1849, under mysterious circumstances. The exact cause of his death still remains a mystery, which only leads to the mystique of the man himself.
Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.